this money, man. I'm feeling blessed, I'm sorry, mother. Something that happened, man. It's a brand new day, the sun is kinda. See, you know I know, you know. You know I know, no be my fault. You know I know you.
Dear young woman, I hope you find love. I see all the armor that you wear. I see all the jewels and gems of wisdom you share. It's okay to shine, Mom. It's okay to shine. It's okay to have pride, Mom. You don't have to live a lie. Don't let the violence fool you into silence, convincing you that you are not worthy of space and time. You might not know it yet, but you got a necessity of mind watching over you. Trust that you are meant to do what you're meant to do.
But because something about a woman romances the heart like Romeo and Juliet playing on a part. Never, never, never has any form in history, animate or no, given men so much joy yet so much pain like the woman. Nature had no better beauty than her form, and none can perform duty as strenuous as she can perform. She gives life to life, protects life from strife, endurance no man will ever have. Little wonder they invented marriage and crowned her his better half. She has conquered more men than men conquer men in battle. Only her conquests are not like man's in metal. In her womb she held man, hedging him with care, thinking first of him or from danger she ran.
And I'm glad that we're doing things like this, and thank you, Paul and his team, for doing this sort of thing, because it encourages people to invest in women's football. We need investment. And let me give you a secret. The secret is that there are many big companies now who are willing to invest in women's football.
To the Lagos State Football Association as the most football association for women football development. And it is a pleasure for this recognition. It came to us as a surprise, but at the same time, we have done a lot of work at the
Good to have you join us in the world of Sport on Trust TV. This is 360 Sport. I am Adeni Ajishafe. It's always good to celebrate Nigerians out there who have actually done well in different sports they find themselves, be it in football, be it in sporting activities like hockey, cricket, even hurdles. Well, we just celebrated them yesterday, where Shiro's Award took place in Abuja. The likes of Tobi Amushon won the Sportsman and Woman of the Year. Really, she deserved it. Looking at Asisat Oshoala winning the Best Player of the Year. Good one for all the winners. At least we have to celebrate what they've done so far in the world of sport. Also, they celebrated the coach of the under-17 women team, that is the Flamingos coach, who actually did well by taking the ladies to bronze, at least medal, trophy that they got there. Good one. At least they were able to do well in that competition. For the first time in the history of Nigeria, we got to the top place at the under-17 Women World Cup. And right now, we celebrated all the winners. And to you out there, if you are into any sport, Never give up, never be deterred. You just can't get to the top. Never give up. Just like Emotion never gave up, and now she's a world star. In fact, world record holder when it comes to hurdles. Welcome you on the show properly. I've run through some sporting stories trending in the world of sport. But we always give focus on Nigerian sport. We need to always talk about our own. If we don't, no one else will do that. Let's start from handball. Recently, the Prudent Energy Handball League took place in Lagos. We had Division 1 and 2 here and there, and now we'll be focusing on Handball League, and we have someone who actually covered that event in Lagos. In the person of Sunday Unuyonu will be here to give us some analysis concerning how it went down in Lagos. Good to have you, Sunday Unuyonu.
The pleasure is all mine.
Okay, now let's talk about the handball competition in Lagos. It was a fantastic competition, and we saw different teams qualifying, and some actually got relegated. But all in all, Kano Pillars, Safety Babes, they did well. They were able to hold their own.
Of course, you can't take the fact from these teams that they are the best of best, because retaining the championship in the men and the women category for Kano Pillars and as well as Safety Babes is something to write home about, because these guys have been training off and on season, and away from that, I think they have much encouragement from their management. So it boils down to the readiness of the coaches, the players, and of course the administrative contribution. So the incentive given to this player also propelled them this far. And for the fact that Sokoto Rima came third place in the women category, they just feature in the league in the women category, and they came third, and that's quite a milestone, having finished second in the table log during the first phase. And of course, for Safety Babes, who came second in the women category, you must give kudos to them. They have been working around the clock as well. And of course, for Safety Shooters in the women category, they have been outstanding. They must be given credence. And of course, coupled to the fact that the HFN has brought so much digitalization and a likable initiative into handball, it makes it an enjoyable sport. Now, they just celebrated their 50th anniversary. It was a jubilee year for them in Unilag in Lagos, the sport hub of Africa. And of course, a whole lot of people came from all walks of life. And look at the continuity in handball since the Sam Ochew-led board came into power. They have been putting so much effort to ensure handball has so much glamour. Apart from the fact that these athletes have won laurel for themselves, they also have the privilege of representing their teams in the continental level. Now it is even better for them, because you have first, second, third position going to the continental. So Kano Pillars is going in the men category, Safety Shooters is going in the men category, and of course Niger United is going in the men category. And boils down to Sokoto Rima third place, and of course Safety Babes second place, and of course Safety Shooters in the women category being the gold champions. They are all going to the continental, and that's something likable, that's something intriguing. And also I must commend the HFN Federation for doing so much work to promote this game, even from the grassroots level, talking about from the under 12 to 15 down to under 18 to 21, and the national team programs, and of course the enticing league. They've done their jubilee 50th anniversary, and they brought foreign referees all the way from Egypt, all the way from Ivory Coast, all the way from Morocco, so on and so forth, just to add glamour to this league. And it makes handball a likable sport now. And the followership on social media, being the fact that the games are being aired daily whenever they have their tournament, even at the grassroots tournament, not just in the league level. The games are being aired at the Division 1 level. The games are being aired live, stream live, and it brings a whole lot of glamour and followership. So we must give them kudos for Sam Ocho have done so well, and there is still continuity.
Good one. Let me cut you there. We've been talking concerning handball, where it took place in Lagos, focusing on that because he was there, he saw what happened there, and now he just had to analyze, at least talk about all those activities, how it went down in Lagos. We just always want to promote our own. The more we give credence to these athletes, the more they will be happy to see that, yes, some people out there are pushing for the best of their performances. Now, Sunday O'Neill, before we digress to other sporting activities happening across the globe, now let's talk about why you were there. Okay. A lot of talented handballers were also discovered. Who really, even though they've been playing pro, so some were discovered during this particular competition. Can you name just one particular player who you could be like, okay, this player was not really popular, but during the competition, he came out or he or she came out showing a lot of fire?
The likes of Aziz in Toje Marine. These guys, Toje Marine has been very outstanding. They came all the way from Division 1. They had an outstanding performance, and they came into the league and they have proved so much dominance. Just slightly losing to Kano Pillars, defending champion, who happens to be back-to-back defending champion, just like Safety Babes in the women category. Just losing slightly to them with just a 2-goal margin. That's quite a milestone for Aziz and for the likes of his teammates in Toje Marine. They have been very fantastic. These are young lads. You must commend them for that.
You must commend them for that. We've been focusing on Handball League, and it's really gaining a lot of momentum in Nigerian sport when it comes to ball sports. Sunday Union really know his onions there. I believe volleyball, basketball. I know you love basketball too. Anyway.
Yeah, I do. I watch a couple of basketball
We'll be talking about that.
Lagos.
Good one. We'll be talking about that right now. But before then, let's quickly talk about the in-team right now. Is the fact that, well, Nigerian teams, Plateau United and Rivers United, will be fighting out against 2 Libyan teams tonight. And it's a big one because even though they won the first leg convincingly, they have to be very careful. We know how the North African teams play out their antics. Right now, they've been told by ex-Eagles player, that is former Nigeria utility player, Garba Lawal, telling them, don't be distracted with Northern clubs' antics. Go out there, he has won them. Just play the game as if you are yet to play. Just don't look at the goals you have on ground. Play them because they will come at you with so many antics. And right now, I'll be looking at this particular story alongside Noel Sampson in the studio with me. Good to have you, Noel.
Good morning, Mr. Adine.
Good one. Let's talk about this. Well, today is the day now because we saw what happened during the CAF Champions League against Wydad Casablanca, and also where Plateau United and Rivers United had to drop to CAF Confederation. But now, they won the first leg. Rivers won 5-0 in Port Harcourt. Plateau won 4-1 in Abuja. Now, today is the day that finally they will know if they are progressing to the group stage. They'll be facing these 2 Libyan teams, and from what we are getting from Libya, it's not so smooth. But Garba, actually, I've been talking to them that go out there, do your business. Don't be worried about, they are treating us this way. Just go there and play your game.
Yeah, they shouldn't be worried, actually, because actually it seems that we are going to Libya for the match. So they shouldn't be worried. Actually, it's an away game. That's an advantage to the Libyan team. But to us, we shouldn't think because we won 5-0 and 4-0 respectively for the different teams, we should now relax. Because if we could win them 4-5 in our home here, going there, they can also win back. They can also equalize, winning back 5-4-0. So we shouldn't relax. And it's a good one from the Super Eagles level because it is most of us, we do relax whenever we win, trying to go back and play the defensive. Yes, then which later backfires on the team. So we shouldn't. They should just play as if they lost or they drew 0-0 so that they could, even though if they can win 1-0 there or at least get a draw, but they shouldn't be relaxed on having played the defensive kind of game. So it's a good one from the...
They should not be defensive.
Yes.
Okay, Sunday, this is a game that we really need because we shouldn't look at, we are leading 4-1 or 5-0. It's very, very dicey. The North African teams, they know how to play this game.
Of course, obviously they do. In sports, the North African teams have been very, very successful. If you look at their outing so far, I feel what the Nigeria team needs to do is just listen to the coaches and ensure they put their finishing touch into play in the field of the 90 minutes where they will have, of course, not just playing against their opponents, the fans, and the weather as well. The weather might not be as friendly as it used to be while they are home. So they just need to give their best and play their A game.
They just need to do their best and play their A game. It's going to be a big one between Plateau United and Al-Aqda of Al-Aqda Benghazi, also of Libya, while Al-Nasr will be facing Rivers United, who are trailing them with 5-0. It's going to be a big one for them to actually score those 5 goals, but football can never be so predictable. But for Plateau United, all they need to do is to make sure they come out, don't defend, because you're looking at, oh, we are leading 4-1. You just have to play your game. Anything can still happen when it comes to football. Right now, coming from Garba Lawal there, don't be distracted. Go out there and do it, and we hope that the 2 teams will do us proud by getting to the group stage of the juicy CAF interclub competition called CAF Confederation. Right now, they are no longer in CAF Champions League. And now from there, let's talk about the women too. Also today, the CAF Women Champions League, Bayelsa Queens battle AS FAR of Morocco. A big battle there, because we know how good the AS FAR team have actually been. So far, they've won their 3 games before they qualify for the semi-final. Bayelsa Queens, they actually lost 1 against Mamelodi Sundown Ladies before they were able to win the 2 remaining games against TP Mazembe and also Wadi Degla of Egypt. But right now, they'll be facing AS FAR, the home team. Yes, they have the support of the fans. The competition is taking place in Morocco, and it's a big one for them. Well, let's look at the other matches that will also be coming up. We have 2 matches coming up in the semi-finals. Looking at Mamelodi Sundown Ladies will also be facing Simba Queens on Tanzania. Tanzania Ladies will be facing the South African Ladies, Mamelodi Sundown, defending champion. AS FAR of Morocco will be hosting Bayelsa Queens. Well, this is a do-or-die affair now, because this is the 2nd edition of CAF Women Champions, and it's very juicy now. Whoever wins this competition will go home with $400,000. Wow. And the runners will get $250,000. And you look at, it's very, very juicy. Compared to last year, there was no money attached, but now it's something that everybody's fighting for. $400,000 Sunday.
Quite a huge amount, if you ask me. But you see, most times these players don't really look at the fact that there is some money at stake. They just want to enjoy the flow of the game. They just want to put in their best. Make sure that all the practices, all the training tours, all the fans that have been looking up to them are not disappointed. But of course, the incentive goes a long way to encourage these athletes.
Now, apart from the incentive, I think those players who want to, the Bayelsa Queens, will have to prove themselves, because they play in Nigeria. Most of them want to go abroad, play in bigger teams, and from where we know, it seems scouts will be there to monitor, to see one of the players they want to pick. So that also is also an extra boost to them. They don't want to lose. They don't want to disappoint the fans.
At least a platform for each of them to showcase them their individual talent.
But if you look at our team this time around, let me at least Bayelsa Queens are representing Nigeria. You just can't take that away. They've done well so far. Far better than what Rivers Angel did last time. It was a very painful defeat, because a lot of people were expecting so much from Rivers Queens, but they never delivered. But now it seems Bayelsa Queens right now, they've been told just to go out there, do your thing. You can win this. According to the NWFL chairperson, that is Aisha Falode, and also NFL president, encouraging them, you can do this. So tonight, 3 Nigerian teams be fighting for honors. Bayelsa Queens, Plateau United, Rivers United. Do you see 3 of them scaling through?
By God's grace.
You sound scared, kind of.
By God's grace. I'm actually confident towards the ladies than the men. So by God's grace, we hope the 3 of them makes us proud.
As for Sunday?
I think it's a 90-minute game. The best team will deserve to win.
The best team. Let's assume that the 3 Nigerian teams will be the best.
I actually don't want to be sentimental.
You have to be sentimental now.
What I mean is those who have what it takes to play in the final should just go get it.
Okay, from the way it is.
The God of soccer can also play.
You want to say that again, honestly.
Okay, we've been talking concerning the Women's Champions League taking place in Morocco, where Bayelsa Queens representing Nigeria will be facing AS FAR of Morocco in a do-or-die affair, a big one there. Right now, the ladies are really fired up to go well against AS FAR. And also to let you know, Plateau United and also Rivers United will be facing Al-Aqda and Al-Nasri over there in Benghazi, Libya. A do or die affair because the North African teams, they want to come back to see how they can upstick those two teams, but it will never happen. The boys are ready and they are really speaking. Stanley Eguma, Fidelis Lechuku, the coaches of these two teams are ready to see what they would do. And for our ladies, Bayelsa Queens, we are in support of you out there, from here, telling you go out there and do your thing. Well, we've been talking about these particular competitions coming up today. And from there, let's come back home again and talk about basketball. MBBF Super 8 is taking place in Lagos. Some matches were played yesterday. And quickly, let's look at the result of those games. Rivers Hoopers, they show how hoopy they are. And they were able to win 67 against Gombe Bulls, 67-60. 7-point address. First quarter, Rivers Hoopers show class, leading Gombe Bulls by 17 against 5, 19 against 18. Second quarter, and you have the third quarter ended 16-11 in favor of Rivers Hoopers. And in the fourth, it was Gombe Bulls who actually pulled back to show how bullish they can be, 26-15 in the fourth quarter, but it was late because Rivers Hoopers eventually they won 67-60 Sunday.
Well, I must commend the fact that both teams want to give in their best, and they did. But you see, the best will always emerge. And one thing that needs to be taken into consideration is the fact that we need to do more of basketball programs, not just from the grassroots level now, to the league level and the national level. If you look at the scoring line, I'm a statistician by training in terms of this game. I play the game as well. And now that I'm reporting the game as well, I feel the scoring point at the moment for day one, day two is quite low. If you look at the professional leagues in the NBA, in the ESPN and the European League, you have a double margin of this scoring line. So they should do more of playing games and tournaments in order to up their scoring ability.
Good one out there. We've been looking at the result of the MBBF Super 8. Let's look at another result that actually took place in Lagos, a match, rather a game that was played in Lagos. We've talked about Gombe Bulls and Rivers Hoopers. The second game that was also played, talking about the MBBF Super 8. We have Kano Pillars against Kwara Falcons, 65-54. Good one for Kwara Falcons. That team, just watch out for them. They'll be very fantastic. First quarter, 17-15. Second quarter, 14-12. Third quarter, 20-19. And in the fourth, they went gaga by winning 14-8 against Kano Pillars. Good one for Kwara Falcons as they were able to show their class in that particular encounter. And quickly, we wrap it up. We quickly go straight to the NBA to give you some result also in the NBA. While we're talking about our own basketball, a lot of basketball lovers are there. Oklahoma City Thunder 103 against Detroit Pistons 112. You look at that game, what a margin of points is scored. Portland Trail Blazers 110 against 107 Miami Heat. Denver Nuggets 115 against San Antonio Spurs 109. And you have New Orleans Pelicans 122. They lost by 7 points against Indiana Pacers. Toronto Raptors 97-111 for Chicago Bulls. They were bullish enough. Brooklyn Nets 94. 2 points adrift Dallas Mavericks. Now looking at the other result, talking about the NBA, straight up to Washington Wizards. They lost by 2 points against Charlotte Hornets. You have Phoenix Suns 88 against Philadelphia 76ers, who actually won 100 points. Boston Celtics, they are doing so well right now. 109 against Memphis Grizzlies 106. And you have Houston Rockets, who went away with 134 against Orlando Magic 127. Milwaukee Bucks 98. What happened to Antetokounmpo? Well, it was a fantastic result for Atlanta Hawks 117. New York Knicks 120 against Minnesota Timberwolves, who couldn't roar enough as they lost against New York Knicks. They are talking about the NBA result quickly now. The way they're standing in all the conferences now, you look at the fact that the table standing for Eastern Conference Atlantic, you have Boston Celtics are topping there. In the Eastern Conference Central, you have Milwaukee Bucks actually leading in that particular conference. In the Eastern Conference there, then you have Eastern Conference Southeast, you have Atlanta Hawks leading the pack at the Eastern Conference Southeast. Western Conference Northwest is Utah Jazz, who are leading the pack there. Western Conference Pacific. Well, Phoenix Suns are showing leadership there ahead of the likes of Golden State Warriors and also Los Angeles Lakers. While in the Western Conference Southwest, it is the Mavericks, Dallas Mavericks, that are doing so well with their man, Luka Doncic, leading the pack there. You just have to appreciate what these guys are doing. As we talk about Nigerian basketball, we have to also talk about the foreign. But quickly, before we wrap it up, let's run through some results of matches that were played or just yesterday in the EFL Cup third round matches where Everton lost against Bournemouth. They tried their best. They lost by 4-1. Unbelievable. It was a match that Bournemouth came out roaring. Bristol City against Lincoln City 3-1. Leicester 3-0 against Newport County. Stevenage against Charlton Athletic ended in penalty shootout. Charlton won, and Gillingham won 6-5 ahead of Brentford. In the Spanish La Liga, good one for Barcelona. They were able to win 2-1 against Osasuna. Elche lost 1-2 against Girona. Atletico Bilbao won 3-0 against Real Valladolid. Straight up to German Bundesliga result, you have Bayern Munich roaring 6-1 against Werder Bremen. Borussia Dortmund lost at the Volkswagen Arena by 2-0. Stuttgart 2, VfL Bochum also won 2-1 against Borussia Mönchengladbach. While in the Italian Serie A, good one for Napoli. They won 2 against Empoli. Good one for them. They were able to continue leading the pack over the Italian Serie A. Spezia 1, Udinese 1, and AC Milan, they shared the spot against Cremonese 0-0. It ended in an away game, just as we give you the result of those games that were played. And before we go, I'm sure Barcelona yesterday, you saw that game coming that they were going to win, right?
I never saw that coming.
Seriously?
After the 60-minute goal from the other team,
Osasuna,
and at the 38th minute, this was going a red card. I actually thought it was.
Yes, that red card.
I thought it was over. Then Piqué in his last match, being a footballer, he was also given a red card halftime. I thought it was like, okay, it was over. But surprisingly, the momentum ruled, and Rafinha and Pedri scored the goals for them, which is quite good. That is the Barcelona we do know before that. Even though you scored them 4-0, when it's not over, it's not over. So I think it's a good one for them.
Now, if you look at the way the table is standing now, Barcelona really, somebody said Xavi will sleep well that yesterday.
Yeah,
because at least they've added extra 3 to the 2 that were on ground. Now, you look at it, 37-32, 5 points. Sunday, you have something to say about it?
Yes, I think the experience counts a lot. He has been in the field of play all these years. And of course, now that he's coaching, he must have to contribute all the experience he has gathered over the years. So that was a better one for him.
Good one there for Barcelona. At least they are back to the top with 5 points adrift Real Madrid. And that will be it on 360 Sport. Yeah, Noel, thank you very much.
The pleasure is mine, sir.
And Sunday, thanks for the handball analysis.
Of course, the pleasure is all mine, sir.
Yes, Adini Ajishafe Sports is there always. 360 Sport on Trust TV. We have to go now. Thanks for watching.